Warning, this video audio may contain graphic images, verbal descriptions of death, self-harm. It may trigger or offend some viewers or listeners. You have been warned. Please do not report the video. This is meant for entertainment purposes only. All images herein are confirmed to be fake and are for dramatic effect only. So enjoy, and thanks for not being a douche. Love, Seb. What's up, everybody? I'm Sebastian Volkov, the god of horror and all that shit. But the thing is, okay, the reason why I'm starting shit off this way this time is I had something really fucked up happen while I was making my usual TikTok ads. You may have seen it before, you may not, I don't give a fuck. But anyway, this image that you see here, which is the thumbnail of this video, okay, so I went to put it on TikTok. Sorry, my background's cutting in. And it became cursed. Okay, so like seriously, this is what it turned into when I actually turned it into a video. And look at this shit. How do I get back over? What the fuck is this? Oh fuck, I can zoom in. What the fuck is this shit? This is like a full on. That is like the most cursed fucking thing of all time. Like, his lips are white, his eyes are darkened, he almost looks burnt or some shit. Fucking headphones. And so I'd never seen anything like that before in my fucking life. So I panicked, and I backed out, saved it as a draft, backed the fuck out, and it went back to normal with the actual TikTok video, but I mean, is that a cursed TikTok, or is this about to be one cursed ass video? So look at it. Should make this the new thumbnail. It's like, what the fuck? Looks like he's got mascara on and shit, but I didn't do a goddamn thing to it. I did not fuck with this image at all. Like, I added this text and some text at the top saying this preview of the upcoming video or what the fuck ever. But I didn't do shit. I didn't do shit to this fucking thing. Like, I don't know. Like, I did this. I made the fucking TikTok and all that shit while I was at work, and I like fucking immediately posted to Twitter like, this is a fucking cursed ass image, some other shit, and showed everybody at work. Everybody was freaked the fuck out. They know I'm not full of shit. I'm not full of shit like that. I would never make something like this up. I don't give a fuck about hype. If you know me, you know that I've been a streamer for a few years, what the fuck ever, and I don't give a shit about generating hype. I don't give a fuck if I ever have any kind of fame on here. I'm just doing shit because I love to do it. But this fucking shit freaked me the fuck out. Anyway, I'm gonna shut the hell up, and we're going to, and I'm just gonna get right into the story. Enjoy. Ahmad Surashi, the serial killer shaman of Indonesia. Born in Medan, Indonesia, December 12, 1952, Ahmad spent his early years as a simple cattle herder and allegedly belonged to the Dukun, a class of shamans with mystical powers. In his early life, though, he became a petty criminal and spent most of his young adult life in and out of prison. But we're not here for that story. It was just a stepping stone. It was April 27th, 1997. A farmer tending to his sugarcane crop stumbles over an odd bump in the dirt. Curiosity got the better of the farmer as he started unearthing what was just beneath the surface. To his horror, he was met by the overpowering stench of decomposition and saw what appeared to be a rotting body, or at least part of it. He ran from the fields and told the head of the village of his potential discovery. This led to the whole village coming together in the fields to assist in digging up what was soon realized to be a young woman's naked corpse. She was vaguely recognized by a few villagers as 21-year-old Sri Kamala Devi, and so her family was called to confirm her identity. Kamala's mother, Asana, recognized the body of her daughter immediately, although her father refused to admit this fact for some time. Following the discovery of the body, a local rickshaw driver, Andrea Suito, stepped forward and explained that on April 24th, just 3 days before the discovery, he had given a ride to the now deceased Kamala. Andrea said that Kamala was rather secretive about her destination at first until almost halfway through their journey. Andrea states, "I asked her again. She said she wanted to go to Datuk's house," another name for the shaman. "I was curious because it was rather late at night, so I asked why she was going there, and she told me to not be too nosy." The village head Sugito was shocked by this revelation because it was that very night that he had asked his neighbor, Suraji, the shaman, about a commotion outside. The shaman said not to fear, that it was just a ghost. The village head also recalled that the shaman was one of the 6 men who finally unearthed the body of Kamala. Suraji was soon taken by the authorities and questioned. He stated that Kamala came to him because of a dispute with her fiancé and was seeking advice. Suraji was well known as a shaman, and people from great distances would come to see him, seeking advice and even spells or rituals to be done on their behalf. The requests usually involved women asking to have a spell cast to keep their men faithful or for fortune and finances, which made sense considering why Kamala had gone to see him. At first, the so-called shaman denied being involved in the murder, but after searching his residence, it was found that he was in possession of a number of Kamala's belongings, including her clothes. It was after this that Suraji finally began to tell his story of his dream. He told investigators of how he had a dream that his renowned shaman father came to him and told him how to obtain invincibility, how he had to drink the saliva of 70 deceased women, and how Suraji thought that it would take ages to come across that many women so close to death, if he ever did. This is when he decided that it would be more efficient and much quicker to take their lives himself. He began to tell officers of the night of Kamala's murder. He stated, "That night, she was scared because we had to walk through a cemetery to get to the sugarcane plantation, which is where he would perform his so-called ritual for Kamala. I told her it was fine, but she insisted that my wife accompany us, and that is how my wife got to know about the murders." Note that the wife in question is the youngest of Suraji's 3 wives. The shaman explained that he had to constantly reassure Kamala to calm down while he buried her in the waist-high hole that he would put his victims in so that he could strangle them, turn their heads, and drink their saliva before stripping them of their belongings, clothing, then bagging the deceased's possessions, covering the body, and going home. None of his wives, including Tumini, who accompanied Suraji, had known of his dream or murders until that night. Suraji was officially arrested 3 days after the discovery of Kamala's body and went through 4 days of interrogation. during which he admitted to having murdered a total of 42 women, all of them buried in the same sugarcane field. We are all human beings. We have our own strengths and weaknesses. If I remember correctly, I have murdered 42 women. I did not suspect that I was going to get caught, and did not try to run away when I saw the police because I was resigned to my fate, said the shaman. It was at this point that investigators started to dig up parts of the sugarcane field, directed to the bodies by Siraji himself, who also showed the police how he would dig the trenches in advance, or have the victims dig their own graves if he didn't have one ready for them. He also showed the exact method of how he would strangle the victims and drink their saliva, stating that it took only up to 15 minutes for the deed to be done. Due to the level of decomposition, it was impossible to determine if Siraji had assaulted his victims in any other way other than the strangulation, but he claimed there were no such assaults, telling investigators later that it wasn't a sexually motivated crime, but it was also an easy way to make money, because he could kill the women and rob them of their valuables and not get caught. The villagers in surrounding area had reported over 80 female villagers had disappeared, but there was no way to link them to Siraji, especially seeing as how the authorities had exhumed all 42 of the victims Siraji had claimed as his. And honestly, they had just stopped looking entirely after that, feeling that they had completely achieved their goal. Siraji wasn't the only one arrested in this debacle. His wife Tumini, who had accompanied them during the murder of Kamala, was also arrested. And after a lengthy trial, Siraji, at the time 57 years old, was put to death via firing squad on July 10, 2008. His body was actually kept in a see-through case in a museum until recent years when human rights activists petitioned to have his body removed from display. He was then cremated and buried with a proper ceremony. And that is the story of Ahmad Siraji, the serial killer shaman of Indonesia. But the one thing I'll always wonder is, how many more bodies could be littering that sugarcane field? Was the murderous shaman closer to his, quote, immortality than he had led police to believe? What do you think? Let me know down in the comments. And also let me know what you think about the really cursed picture that I ended up getting when trying to make a TikTok post about this. So thanks for watching and listening, everyone, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.